Alrighty, well, welcome, girls and boys, to a new group series Discord, if you will. Today we're with the ISRL boys, and jumping on to do a bit of commentary for these guys, as I know a few of them, and it would be nice to join a time if you need an update on something. Says Hansa. I'm just going to quickly sort out my comms, and we're very close to the start, so I'll be back in 2 moments. Foxy in the pits. Beautiful rims. TLM Mew in the pits. Hat Maris and Rega in the Audi R8 GT3. Sending the live stream to Adventure James's Discord, Andrew Racing, Simon, Jerry, GT Sport Community, of course. Well, a big shout out to Mew in chat. Hansa, I got your invite, Hansa. I just didn't know whether to join in. I was just about to message you if you needed to say anything. Obviously, I was just sort of going live as you sent that message. And hello to Nick. Great to see you in chat. Known you for such a long time. And here we are, doing some comms for the legendary ISRL boys here at a final. Need to put Let's get me keyboard set up. There we go. Okay, keyboard is functional. And we have Hansa in the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3 2016 model. Gran Turismo becoming more of a, well, Gran Turismo Sport, becoming a little bit of an older game, if you will, now. Final beginning in 6 seconds, so we're going to get ready for that green for the final of the ISRL here at St. Creux. I may have got that wrong, but we're calling it St. Creux tonight. St. Croix? St. Croix. St. Creux? Alrighty. So we've got the Mew up in P1, Timmy side by side with the Mew, followed by Rega TNT, Raiden, Paulie, Harris, Hansa, Nick, Foxy, and I just missed whoever was in the bringing up the rear there. And we get the green here for the ISRL final. Season 18, round 8, as all drivers make their way up to turn 1. And we've already had some action. Timmy and P2 side by side with TNT coming through turn 1. I think we've already had one death. Paulie side by side with Timmy coming up to what is an awkward braking section here at St. Creux. All drivers, all drivers deciding to mow the lawn a little bit there. And Timmy in the Audi GT3 taking first place is coming to the right hand. We've got M3 guy Nick in P2, TNT also in the Mercedes AMG. Let's see if we can get a wider shot of the cars here. And Raiden P4, Foxy P5 coming up to a left-hander. Nick with a beautiful drift there in the Supra. Still in P3, P2 side by side with TNT. Nick in the 44 Supra, the short shifting Supra. Just got to exit and rejoin for some of the features to work. Here we go. So we are on board with Vitamin G as he absolutely leaves that Lamborghini for dead. And now in the slipstream of the Supra, giving him a good old what's for. Golden Botto, hope you are doing well, fella. We've got deaths all around. I'm going to strongly assume. What am I seeing? I'm going to strongly assume here that this is not the final. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is. I can't remember how he worded it. Stock. Stock check. Reverse grip rolling starts to spice things up. Very interesting. Raiden in the beautiful Monster Energy Lamborghini GT3. Quick little warm up. It'd be interesting if racing was actually sort of you had a series where this was all allowed, sort of like a Wreckfest meets Gran Turismo, and that was absolute carnage. Coming into the final corner there, TNT making his way. through the ultimate corner there, and my warm-up is now complete. Now that's most certainly one way to get warmed up. I quite like what they're doing here. And victory to Timmy in P1. The Devil taking glory after that performance, and mental fun indeed, Mew. That was. It took me a while to realise what was going on then. You'll be at the back, that is no worries. We're at number 48 Audi there, taking outside of the pits. Not enough room for all of the drivers, it appears. Alrighty, so I assume qualifying is now kicking off. I'm still laughing at what I've just seen. So we've got 6 minutes of qualifying here at St. Creux. Race finish in 30 seconds. Fastest first, of course. And Hansa has had enough leaving the room. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be back. He'll be back. So we'll just jump on board with TLM Raiden and the number 29 Lamborghini GT3 mid-engined 4-wheel drive powerhouse V10 engines, and it's one of the only cars in the GT3 classes that sort of really use the V10 engine. Most of the other cars, including the Bentley and Aston Martin and GT3s, use the V8 model, and also repositioned, meaning it's not the same as the production models, even though the chassis is, putting the engine at the rear in the GT3 cars. TNT showing love to Raiden there. AC/DC. TNT, I like it. On the PS5, loving the occult symbols there. Assuming that might be a band though, above the Mercedes logo. Big fan of that actually. Lovely looking car. Loving anything esoteric. Let's have a look. Raiden taking it easy. Just waiting on Timmy and Hansa to rejoin. And Rega taking a well-deserved coffee break before race begins. Hansa needed to restart the PS4. I've personally had a lot of issues with being kicked out and lobbies not working and all this kind of thing, so I don't know whether that's what's happened to you, but I'm having some issues. Starting in 1 minute, Hansa back in. I think we're just waiting on Tiny Tim. Alrighty, Vitamin starting the qualifier now. And now underway. Just got to exit and rejoin for all of the keyboard settings to work. But we are a green for the qualifying session. We've got 6 minutes of qualifying here for the Group 3s of the ISRL final. Vitamin first out of the pits. In P2 is Foxy. P3 we've got Hat Maris in the Group 3 Corvette. So Z is set replay, X is 5 seconds, C is 10 and V is 15, radio. So we've got Vitamin first to cross the line on his out lap. So I don't know, maybe 2-3 laps at best. Hansa in P3 in the qualifying position in the Mercedes GT3, making his way onto a left-handed kink. Sniffles. So, just mic off for a few seconds. Vitamin first across the bridge. Raiden in the Lamborghini GT3 next to cross the bridge. Foxy in the Hyundai GT3 in the Lean Machine. Sponsoring Fanatec. Assuming he's on the CSL Elite, unless of course he has the new Fanatec GT DD. Nick in the Supra. I'm used to seeing him in a BMW. I was expecting to see the M6. Maximising track width, touch wide there. TNT blowing up the track here at St. Cru, and Reggae in PA warming them tyres up in the Audi GT3. Archie in the beautiful looking Hyundai there, going through the ultimate corner here at St. Cru and crossing that line. So that now means that the next time these boys cross the line, as Mew just crosses the start finish as well, next time you see these, we're going to be seeing some times on the board. Tyres will be warmed up. Somewhat of a demanding track, very unique looking as well. So let's jump on board with the pack leader, Vitamin G. As the TLM crew, teammates all on track today here at St. Crew for the final round 8 of season 18 for the ISRL. Final. And crosses that bridge. Alrighty, through the penultimate corner, and it is a 1-lap qualifying session. I like what they've done there, a bit of a monster of a lap, hard on the brakes at 90 meters, making use of all of the track limits, cutting as much of the corner as you possibly can there, which is nice to see from Vitamin G, crossing that start finish line with a 3-minute 12-second. Harris in P2. Raiden knocking Vitamin off at P1. Foxy in P5. Nick, the M3 guy, working his way up to P5, and TNT not having the best of runs there in P7. 3.5 seconds. 5 seconds. Well, that's the beauty of a 1-lap qualifying session. It's all about making sure you get it right. Paulie P9 and the Mew, TLM Mew. What does TLM mean? Can someone let me know in chat, please? Alrighty, with Raiden and Vitamin G taking grid 1, Hat, Maris and Hansa in grid 2, and Nick and Rega in grid 3, as we wait to get season 18 round 8 of the ISRL season. Red lights are on and we wait for the infamous green, 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 and it is a go for the ISRL boys. We've got Lamborghini leading the way, jumping on board with P2, see if we can get a bit of a shot here as all drivers now begin to make their way through turn 1. 6 laps of racing here. Vitamin G in P2 and being chased by Hansa in the Mercedes GT3. Jaguar in P2, Hat Maris in P4, chasing Hat Maris is Rega in the Audi GT3, Foxy in P6, Foxy under heavy fire from TNT. Our American friend, all drivers pushing these GT3 cars to the limit here for the final at St. Crew, and we've got 6 laps of pure entertainment for you boys and girls at home. Audi well and truly within the slipstream range of the Corvette. They're coming up to the left-hand kink here at St. Crew, and Raiden still able to hold off in P1. We're going to just jump on board with TNT. 3 4/10 of a second separating himself to Nick in the Supra just ahead. And all drivers now making their way on to the bridge. Paul Lee in the Hyundai Genesis Group 3. And the Mew bringing up the rear here to get time behind the wheel in the Group 3 cars. Mr. Lauder. Team Lean Machine. Raiden, Team Lean Machine is on the outside corner. The Jaguar's on the inside. Raiden on the inside of the Lamborghinis to go through the ultimate corner here at St. Crew. We've got a drag race between Raiden and Vitamin G now. Lamborghini not quite able to make the move as of yet. P3 still within pouncing range of P2. Raiden 0.6 of a second, 0.58 of a second now separating P3 podium to P2. Team Lean Racing all taking up P1, 2, 3 and 4. Rega in P5. And only 1 second separating Nick to Rega in the GT3 Audi. TNT looks like he had a little bit of a better line there in the Mercedes GT3. We're going to have a little look on board with P2. We've got the Jaguar side by side. Raiden and Vitamin G side by side yet again. The Lamborghini with the inside line. The Jaguar going for the old switcheroo, but has he got the pull? As they make their way up to probably what's the heaviest braking section here. The Jaguar's got the inside line, but has the four-wheel drive mid-range. Lamborghini got the better exit. Again, it's another drag race up to the left-hander, this time occupied by the Jaguar and taking P1. Is Vitamin G, but the Lamborghini well and truly within slipstream range, not deciding to make a move there. Still see Hansa in P4. We've got the Team Lean Machines here, all in shot. He's going to go side by side with Vitamin G in the Jaguar, but decided better of it to looking like he thought he could get a better run out of the ultimate corner of St. Crew, and it looks like he has made that happen. We're on board with Rainer going side by side with Vitamin G in the Jaguar. It's another drag race. Side by side yet again. They're still side by side. A little bit of Tokyo drift there from the Lamborghini, but we do know that Lamborghinis are incredible at drifting. We've got Hansa looking like he might make a move on the Corvette. He's taking the inside line. He's gone side by side with Hat Maris. It looks like he might have made that happen in P3. And Hat Maris looked like I think he just took that back again. Is he able to go the last of the late breakers? No. Let's have a quick little look at that replay there. Reggae in P5, 2 seconds separating himself from Hansa and Nick in the Supra. Only 1 second though separating TNT in the Mercedes GT3 between himself and Nick. Paulie, oh, both Paulie and Foxy deciding to mow the lawn. Mew doing God's work there in the Group 3 Beetle. Still side by side again. Lamborghini and Jaguar, who'd have thought it, battling it out here. For the ISRL final here at St. Crew, only 0.4 of a second separating. These drivers in my favourite position, PTMK, keeping that Mercedes AMG Group 3 pinned. Extremely smooth there through the left-hander, and I think he might have a run here now on the Corvette. In podium position, his hands are going to send it to the right. He's just deciding to keep it there. Can he get a better run out here? It looks like he's got a pretty decent run, but can he get the car side by side as they cross the start-finish line for the 4th time here? Jumping back on board with P2, Lamborghini now conceded position to Vitamin G. And Raiden with a lap time of 3 minutes, 1 second, 0.624. And now only 3 points of a second separating himself from Vitamin G, driving the Jaguar Group 3 today. And Hat Maris still able to hold on to podium position, but well and truly within danger range, just going off track there. Maybe still got a nice run out though. Hands are not quite able to make anything happen yet. Reggae made a gap of 3.5 seconds now between Nick and TNT. That gap between Nick and Tyson, Mr. TNT, Tyson, is gone up by another second. We'll see whether Tyson can draw Nick back in. Foxy in P8. And the Mew taking position over Paulie. Side by side again, the Jaguar on the outside line, having to concede that position to the Lamborghini. Hard on the brakes. 0.37 seconds separating the Jaguar. Looks like the Jaguar of Vitamin G is making sure he is sending that Group 3 Jaguar. Oh, that's just out of slipstream range. Raiden just out of slipstream range, now a 10th over slipstream range. If he can keep that gap, he'll be in for a comfortable P1, and still increasing, just increasing as they cross that start finish line for the 5th time. 2 laps to go for the ISRL final round 8 of season 18, led by Raiden in the Group 3 Lamborghini. 1.3 seconds now separating himself between Vitamin G, and we've been watching those two side by side for the entirety of this race. Hatbar is still in podium P3 position. His hands are able to make anything work with the 2 laps he's got left to do it. And Rega still in P5. Nick in P. Steve. 2.5 seconds now separating himself to TNT. And TNT not that far away at all. Seeing the 2 cars go side by side, but we of course must jump back on board as we are 1.5 laps remaining, bringing a close to the ISRL season 18 round 8 final here at St. Crew. 0.4 of a second separating the drivers. Of Hat Maris and Vitamin G. Maris well and truly within slipstream range. Vitamin G going defensive. Not quite able to get that car side by side, and I'll tell you what an absolute pleasure it is to see an absolute bunch of amazing, incredible drivers be ultimately respectful here. It just goes to show it's all about the people. No dive bombs, waiting to get side by side to really cleanly take that position, which is what racing really is. P2 is still in grasps for Hat Maris with a lap time of 3 minutes, .556. Vitamin G in the F-Type Jaguar Group 3 with a lap time of 3 minutes, 1 second, .489. Nick, the absolute legend in the number 44 Toyota Supra. It's an interesting car to drive, short shifting it sort of means the back end doesn't come out, so you kind of get a better turning angle and a good amount of power, but you've got a little bit of extra rev range in the Toyota as well. But we've crossed that final lap. We are now on the final lap. Raiden still in P1. 4.5 seconds separating Raiden to Vitamin G in P2. gonna go for the move, coming up to the left-hand corner. King going through the chicane, exiting up to a heavy braking section into a right-hander where you want to be maximizing track width there. Make sure you clip that apex and get that exit. But all drivers putting on an incredible performance here. 4.44 seconds separating P3 to P2. Coming up through the penultimate corner is Raiden. Pat Maris not quite got the distance he needs, but Raiden with the win for the finale of the ISRL, giving us a flash. What a legend. P2 going to Vitamin G. Do we get a flash from the boys? Pat Maris with P3. Hansa giving us a flash. Rega in P5. Nick in P3. I mean 6. Tyson in P7. And Foxy in P8 in the Hyundai Group 3. The lean, blunt machine. Coming through that ultimate corner there. Do we get a flash from Foxy? No, we do not. Mew next to cross that line. Do we get a flash from Mew? Getting time behind that wheel here today. Do we get a flash from Paulie? Bringing the final to a close here today. And congratulations to TLM taking P1 in the Lamborghini GT3. Round 8 of the final, and what an incredible race that was. Well, there we go. See exactly what's happening, whether we've got anything else on the cards with these guys. I've only been around here before in a Samba bus, says the Mew. Similar to me, mate. Most of my sort of things are sort of funny things, but my time on track in the past was sort of funny kind of races. But it's good to get some time down on track. I like what you're doing. You need to have time on track to be able to get better and better, and that's what my philosophy is these days. And it's great to see the Team Lean Machines drive incredibly fair, very respectful, I think is probably the word we're looking for. Yeah, big shout out to the TLM guys. That was that's one of the most cleanest races I've ever seen. I'm not saying that either. That was genuinely one of the cleanest races I've ever seen. No dive bombs. None of you thought, oh, just go side by side with a silly old dive bomb, scraping paintwork on a £300,000 GT3 car. It was beautiful. Very, very, very well done. And even the everyone else that was non-TLM, very well done. Alrighty, so we've just got a few minutes until we kick off the next race. I'll be back on mic in a couple of moments and leave you with this beautiful sights and sounds of the Group 3 cars. With the Korean heirs Paulie Archie in the Genesis Group 3. Big shout out to Huleg in chat. Absolute legend joining us from Serbia. 20 to 8 o'clock there. Push, push, push. Pushich, pushich. Vitamin G. Driving the Jaguar Group 3 today. Putting up an awesome battle between Vitamin G and Raiden there. And Hansa and Hat was also doing incredibly well. So respectful, just so beautiful to see. It brings a tear to my eye. Who else have we got? Hat Maris putting up a good fight against Hanze for the first round here today at St. Cru in the 71 Chevrolet Corvette. And Tyson joining us from the Americas, Mercier. Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3 2016 model. I think everyone's most certainly looking forward to Gran Turismo 7. Just over 3 months to go. And it also depends whether we'll have a PS5 by then as well. I'm sure PS5, Sony know what they're doing, and I'm sure they'll end up releasing a load just before Gran Turismo. As Gran Turismo is a staple mark in Sony PlayStation's existence, and racing itself being one of the first and biggest racing games that existed. Rega now under pressure. From Nick, the M3 guy. October the 17th, 2017. That's when GT Sport was released. 1997 was the first release. 80 million units were sold in 1997 for its debut worldwide. It's the highest selling video game franchise under the PlayStation brand. So there you go, my statement was correct. It is a staple mark in Sony PS4, or PlayStation I mean. Born in 1967. Kazunori Yamauchi, CEO of Polyphony Digital, and producer of the Gran Turismo series. Trace its origins back to 1992. Alrighty, so we've got the final now underway. Team Lean Machine. Let's rock it. Alrighty, looks like we've got a grid start. I mean a rolling start. Paulie up in P1 and the Mew in P2, so we've got a reverse grid. And with how fair everyone was driving, this is going to be a good one. We've got the green for the second race here at St. Crew. Oh, the Mew is just deciding to let everyone pass, not wanting to ruin anyone's race, I suppose. TNT in P3 coming through turn 1 here at St. Crew. We've got Foxy in podium position P2 and TNT in the podium position, taking a provisional bronze and being hunted by Nick, the M3 guy. Toyota Supra in pursuit of the Mercedes, Audi in pursuit of the Toyota, the Mercedes of Hansa looking to just show his nose there to Rega in P5 in the matte orange Audi GT3. In P7, Vitamin G in P8, and in the middle of Vitamin G, no, so Vitamin G is in between Hat Maris, who put up a pretty good fight in the last race between himself and Hansa. Hansa now currently in P5 or P4 now, just taking position over Nick. We've got some action here, ladies and gentlemen. I thought some things weren't working. You've got to back out and back in. Here we go. Over the bridge, St. Crew, we have side-by-side action with Rega and Raiden as they come up to the heavy braking section at the end of the bridge. Jaguar in pursuit of Chevrolet, the Toyota of Nick just ahead of the 71 Chevrolet there. No drivers quite able to make anything happen as of yet. Jump on board with Vitamin G, who is gone side by side with the Chevrolet. He's taking a position, but oh no, Lamborghini in pursuit. I don't know whether there's a little bit of a water switch there as well. Vitamin G in P7, Raiden in P6, Rega in P8, M3 guy with the medium tyres as he goes into the pits. And Archie having a whale of a time as the rest of them fight it out. Now 3.5 seconds up the road. TNT 1.1 seconds separating himself to Foxy. Hansen now in P4, but under incredible fire from the Chevrolet, Lamborghini, Jaguar and Audi Group 3 cars as they come into the right-hander of St. Crew here. One position and now side by side with the Hyundai, and it looks like he's been able to make that happen on the lean, blunt machine. Hansa now worked his way up into P3, 1.7 seconds, separating himself to Tyson. And Hansa now side by side with the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini of Raiden got an incredible run out there and taking that position from Hansa. Hansa now in the slipstream of Raiden in podium, a P3 position, 0.4 of a second separating them, 0.7, 0.5 of a second separating P4 to P5 of Hat Maris and Vitamin G in P6. Side by side with the Corvette as they come into the left-hander there. Can he get the cutback as they make their way over the bridge? On board with Vitamin G as the Corvette looks to have had the better run there. The Hyundai now in pursuit of Vitamin G. And the Audi GT3 is doing an incredible job of keeping up and keeping in that slipstream train. Side by side go the Jaguar and the Corvette. Jaguar looks like he's just got his nose in the front, but the Corvette might have the old switcheroo as they make their way over the start-finish line for the third time, thought it was the third time here at St. Crew for the final of the ISRL Season 18, and the 209 Jaguar in pursuit of Hat Maris in the Chevrolet Foxy, just in slipstream range, 0.7 of a second separating himself between Vitamin G in the Jaguar. A little bit sideways there, the back end a little bit loose. All drivers most certainly seem to have got their skills down today. 17 laps of St. Crew layout is nasty. Fastest lap. That's a good question. We'll have a little look in a moment. No action is happening as of yet. So let's have a little look at the live timing. And the fastest lap goes to TLM, Team Lean Machine. Raiden in the Hurricane GT3 on racing mediums. He's achieved a lap time of 3 minutes 4 seconds, 0.425. And look how close that beginning pack is to each other. And I would most certainly have thought that they're very close within slipstream range now. Raiden just a second, just under a second now. Raiden in the Lamborghini to Paulie in the Hyundai Genesis Group 3. Let's say fast lap, is it, Hulek? I'm not necessarily sure what fast laps are here. I mean, obviously we're running on racing mediums, we've got that information. Vitamin G in the Jaguar now in between the Mercedes of Hansa in P6 and hunting down Hat Maris in the Chevrolet, the very stable Chevrolet Corvette C7. And you can just see Tyson now 0.9 seconds separating Tyson to Hat Maris, just out of slipstream range though. But they come up to the ultimate corner here at St. Crew, about to make it lap 4. and the Chevrolet-led Tyson now losing position to the Chevrolet and Jaguar. Not sure whether he was just giving position to the TLM boys there, but we've got Hansa now in the TLM train in pursuit. And so in P... where was that fight? Where have I just seen that fight? Nick with a lap time of a 3 minute 4 seconds, .939 in the Toyota Supra. Number 44. What a legend. Rocking the Guinness livery. As I do know that Nick, that's where I first met Nick, in the Guinness Lounge Racing server. And the Mewin Team Lean Machine getting to grips with the Group 3 Beetle going over the bridge, and Raiden in P1 now gapping P2 by 3.369 of a second to Paulie Archie. And Vitamin G now deciding to go into the pits. Assuming all drivers are needed to make an obligatory pit stop. And exiting the pits, Foxy in the pits. In the lean blunt machine, sticking some fuel in as well. 4 seconds now separating Raiden to Paul. And Hat Maris now in podium position. Tyson separating those two by 1.4 seconds. Hansa in P5, and Nick in the 44 Guinness liveried Toyota Group 3. In P6, 1.5 separating himself and Rega in the GT3 Audi. .9 seconds separating Hat Maris in the Chevrolet Corvette C7 between himself and the Hyundai Genesis in P2. And Nick just making his way through, and and Vitamin G back out on track with brand new mediums, and it always takes one full lap to get them tyres up to full operating temperature, and make sure you apply. Well, there's a couple of techniques that people use. You either hold the brakes, or you can just put a little bit of pressure through your steering wheel, warm them tyres up just a little bit quicker, and I hope you can get some better lap times out of there. 2.3 seconds separating Nick to Rega. Hansa in P5. 1.4 seconds down the road is Tyson taking PTMK, and 1.5 separating himself between the podium position of Hat Maris and Team Lean Machine. Hat Maris into the pits, Paulie into the pits with the softs. 6 laps of fuel left to go. Hat Maris waking him way into the pits. The Chevrolet boys earning their paycheck. Fuel is going in, 19 litres of fuel. Now 72 litres of fuel and soft tyres, so that is going to be push for Hat Maris in the Chevrolet in provisional P6. Just up the road we've got Vitamin G, 4.404 separating himself between him and P4 of Rega in the Audi. And Nick, the M3 guy, who I believe drives a BMW 4 Series, of course, number 44, convertible, beautiful car. Video coming soon. So the gaps are beginning to separate. 2 seconds separating Vitamin G to Rega, and I don't know whether Rega has what tyres he has on at the moment, but we can find that out by pressing F10. So he's on racing mediums, and you can see that they're worn, low fuel. But if we jump, lap time of 3:07.280. If we jump on board with Vitamin G, you can see the difference in tyre wear. Vitamin G on the side of the Audi GT3 and able to pull that off on the new softs, working at optimum temperature, but that does mean that Reggae in the Audi GT3 can now use and capitalize on some free time here if he can stay within the slipstream. Vitamin G, Raiden and Hansa in the pits, medium tyres, 7 laps on average of fuel left between them. Hansa with 2 laps, or 2 litres of fuel less, using more fuel. Nick with softs, Hansa with the mediums. Hello Ian, hope you're doing well, fella. Welcome, welcome. Hansa just looking on the inside of Tyson. Let's have a comparison between tyre wear and fuel load. Hansa driving 546 miles in total in his Mercedes AMG. Brand new racing softs and 3/4 of a tank, and now taking that position away from Tyson, who is also running an incredible race, it must be said. Tyre wear, Tyson going into the pits, I think just before Hansa, perhaps a little bit more tyre wear on the identical AMG there. That or Hansa perhaps being just a touch smoother, which it just goes to show each one of your inputs, especially on more of an endurance style race like this. Makes a big difference towards the end. And Raiden, 0.4 of a second away from P1. Vitamin in the Jaguar being hunted down by the Lamborghini mid-engine 4-wheel drive Group 3 as they make their way up to the ultimate corner here at St. Crew, and gonna make it lap 8 as they cross that start-finish line through the final corner, clipping that apex, make sure they get the best exit they possibly can. Both drivers just touching the wall there. TNT now 0.8 of a second away from Paulie, now in P4 in the Hyundai Group 3 as they come up to the right-hander of a squared off section here at St. Croix. St. Croix. And Tyson, 0.2 seconds, 0.1 of a second on the bumper of Paulie now, lap 8. And it'd be interesting to compare tyre wear between these two racing soft 3/4 of a tank. Got the Hyundai and the Mercedes on a drag race. And that was a beautiful section there from TNT. And Paulie very hard on the brakes there, running a little bit wide, but a nice exit. TNT serving a penalty, and now a second separating himself to Paulie again. 3.7 seconds separating Hansa to Tyson in provisional P5. Nick improving his lap time by 2 seconds. Currently in P7 in the Toyota Supra. Fastest lap, TLM Vitamin G in the Jaguar F-Type Group 3 on Racing Softs with a best lap of 3 minutes 2 seconds .356. And now within slipstream range of gold. Is Vitamin G from Raiden, just over halfway in this race. Now a second separating P1 to P2 of Raiden and Vitamin G, losing slipstream to Raiden. So if Raiden can hold him off, he'll keep advantage and stay out of attack from the Jaguar F-Type driven by Vitamin G there, and TNT occupying PTMK in pursuit of a podium position occupied by TLM Hat Maris. And Nick coming to join the party. Only 2.8 seconds separating himself from P Steve. Up in P6 there as he makes his way through the right-handers. Total signs to our left. And P1 and 2, the fight is most certainly kicking off here as the Lamborghini goes to go inside of the Jaguar F-Type, not quite able to make it happen. Very smooth driving from absolutely everyone today, but even these two that are fighting it out as they make their way under the St. Cloud sign. We've got people camping out here, ready to watch the final of the ISRL Season 18 Round 8. And the Jaguar is still able to hold off in P1. The Lamborghini looks like he may be making a move, not quite able to get the nose stuck to the inside. And the Lamborghini with an incredible run out of there. Now side by side with the Jaguar. The Jaguar nowhere to go, having to concede part of the track to the Lamborghini as Raiden had an incredible run there. Not quite able to get the run out that he would have liked, perhaps. Through the left-hander, onto the bridge. What an incredible run there from Raiden, side by side with the Jaguar F-Type. The Jaguar has the inside line. We've got a drag race between Hurricane GT3 Power and the Group 3. Jaguar side by side. Oh, what incredible racing we have here. between these two in the Lamborghini Jaguar for the fight for P1. Vitamin G into the pits, and that has given Raiden the P1 provisional position now. Jaguar boys earning the paycheck. And it's a green. Vitamin G, 5th, as he gets back out on track and now is in pursuit of Tyson in PTMK and Hansa in podium position, P3. What incredible racing we have here, and it looks as though Tyson still well and truly able to hold off Vitamin G in the Jaguar Group 3 F-Type there. As they make their way up to the right hand, Vitamin G with an incredible corner there, right up the bumper of Tyson. And now a drag race between Jaguar and Mercedes. Tyson conceding that position to Vitamin G, allowing him to go through and now hunt down Hansa up in P3. With a lap time of 3 minutes 5 seconds, 0.2 flat. We've got Hat Maris now entering the pits. And the Chevrolet boys now earning their paycheck. Fuel in, tyres on. We've gone for the soft compound of tyres. We've got 11 litres of fuel. And we've now got 66 litres of fuel. With 5 laps left to go. Tyson, Hansa, Vitamin G all joining the party. And 29 seconds now separating Hat Maris to Raiden, so I'm going to assume Raiden does need to pit in the Lamborghini. And we have got a fight on our hands now for P2. Vitamin G versus Hat Maris. Poor Lee in the pits with just 6 litres of fuel. Soft tyres on, 79 litres of fuel in. And it is a go, go, go. 0.3 of a second separating P3 to P2. The fight has begun between Chevrolet and Jaguar. .5 of a second, half a second separating the TLM boys between the Corvette and Jaguar. And Tyson still in P4, just under a second, just out of slipstream range to Hansa in P5. Nick in P6 in the Supra. So that's Hansa, Nick and Tyson all in the pits. Toyota boys earning their paycheck. P1 of Raiden, 0.7 of a second separating them now. 0.6, 0.5 of a second separating himself between Vitamin G, working his way up to P2, lap 13 of 17 here for the final of the ISRL. 0.5 seconds separating P2 to P3. Slipstream range is still under attack for P1 Raiden in the Lamborghini Huracan. Completely different array of cars here. Jaguar, Corvette and Lamborghini all fighting it out for P1 gold glory here today for the final of the ISRL at St. Croix. .3 seconds separating Vitamin G to P1 Glory, making their way onto the bridge for the 13th time in this race in the slipstream range of P1, and the Chevrolet is most certainly in the slipstream range, pulling in late on the brakes, making sure he can get as much free time as he can. You can see the suspension put to work there in the Chevrolet. Well, the fight is definitely on for P1 as they're very nearly going 3 wide into turn 1. Going into lap 14 of the final here for the ISRL. Chevrolet in P3 podium position, Ryden in P2, Vitamin G in pole position. The Lamborghini on the inside, Ryden on the inside of Vitamin G. We've got Ryden and Vitamin G at it again. The Jaguar just able to hold off in front of the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini going on the inside of the left-hand corner. Maris is going to be loving this in the Chevrolet, as he's going to be thinking he's going to be getting some free time here, maybe even capitalise on a position or two as the final 3 laps are coming underway. We're going to jump on board with Ryden. Incredible driving here with a multi-class of vehicle regarding brands and how they build them, how they perform, how you have to drive them. Lamborghini looks like it's got a good exit there. The 4-wheel drive mid-engined is being put to good use. It's a drag race again with Jaguar and Lamborghini. Coming up to the left-hand kink, up to a little bit of a heavy brake section into a hard right-hander. Lap 14, making their way across the bridge. Shame we can't get a helicam shot of the race. TNT 2.5 seconds, Hansa 2 seconds up the road, and now only 2.5 seconds to capitalise on a P4 from TNT. And M3 guy only 3 seconds up the road from Hansa as they all make their way to the end of the bridge, hard on the brakes into the right and left hand sector. Through a long right-hander here where you want to be maximising track width, clipping that apex. And sending it for victory, but the fight for P1 is still going on as we are now on lap 15. Of the ISRL Round 8 final. Lamborghini on the inside line of the Jaguar. Chevrolet just loving all of this unfolding. Still side by side. Lamborghini still on the inside line. Jaguar. Oh, side by side coming into the right hand corner still. What incredible racing we have here. Jaguar just ahead of Chevrolet. Vitamin G doing his best to make sure he's got all them horsepowers planted down with his right foot, making the most of those track widths. Has Hat Maris got a run? Not quite, having a little bit of a look. He might have not really got room to make a position as Ryden and Vitamin G are constantly side by side, but that could be good news for Hat Maris. Let's have a quick little look in P5 as Hansa 2.4 seconds. Still, we've got even times between Hansa and TNT, but we must jump back on board with the leading pack, crossing that bridge for the 15th time in this race. Jaguar on the inside line. And we've still got side-by-side action between Raiden and Vitamin G, making their way up to the ultimate corner for the 15th time. Has the Lamborghini got the switch back? Are we going to be side-by-side yet again? Not quite. The Lamborghini has not quite got the run there, just getting back into slipstream range. And lap 16, we are 2 laps left to go. Side by side, yet again. Who is going to claim P1? Raiden, Vitamin G, or Hat Maris? What incredible racing we have here. Making the most of them track limits, getting all the power down in that Chevrolet C7. And now the Lamborghini tucked within the slipstream range of the Jaguar. He's got that pull. The side by side again. Is the Chevrolet going to make it 3 wide as they come up to the left-hander here for the final of the ISRL? What incredible racing, what incredible sights we have between the Lamborghini, Jaguar and Corvette. The Huracan, the F-Type going a little bit wide there. Lamborghini having to rethink what he had to do there, maybe just jump on the brake or just come off the accelerator, unbalancing the Huracan GT3. Crossing that bridge for the second to final time, the penultimate time over the bridge. Is the Lamborghini just waiting it out, or is he trying to get past and take position of the F-Type? What incredible racing we have here. Pushing these Group 3 cars to the absolute limits. The Chevrolet looking like he might just get a nosy on the inside of the Huracan. Oh, a little bit wide there, a little bit loose. Is that giving a good run to the Chevrolet of P3. Hat Maris in pursuit of Raiden in the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 in P2. We're on the final lap, coming up to the squared off section here at St. Crew. Vitamin G still able to hold on to P1 in the Jaguar F-Type Group 3. We're making our way up to the left-hander, the Lamborghini. Not quite able to get side by side, but we may go through to the left-hand corner, clipping that apex. Jaguar still able to hold off in P1. Oh, what incredible racing! What you are all being treated to at home watching this today. Oh no, the Lamborghini just touching the grass. That is brutal. That is so unfortunate. You can't take away his driving credit though. What an absolutely incredible performance Raiden has put on. But that does mean that Hat Maris now taking P1 is now under pressure from Vitamin G in P2. Giving the Corvette that laughing moment after all that fighting and racing what it is. He's now in P1 as they go over the bridge for the final time for Season 18, Round 8 of the final of ISRL. The TLM boys taking gold, silver and bronze today. Tyson still in P4 under fire from Hansa in P5, Nick in P6, Paulie in P7 as the Jaguar tries to get side by side with the Corvette as they make their way through the right hand section here at St. Crew for the final time and up towards the penultimate left hand corner. Hat Maris 4.0 of a second separating them both. Slipstream dragging him in as they come up to the final corner here for the final of ISRL. Hat Maris, is he able to hold on? Hat Maris with gold as he crosses that start finish. Vitamin G taking an unsurprising P2 there. Raiden with a very unfortunate incident there, giving us a flash. What a legend. And TNT going to be taking P4. Hansa able to get 0.2 of a second back on TNT of Tyson as he crosses that line. And Hansa taking P5. Nick in the Toyota Supra taking P6 today for the ISRL final. And the pink unicorn Archie making his way through the final corner, taking P7 today. And Rega in the Audi GT3. Giving us what we all want. A well-deserved handbrake turn over the start finish. So Mew crossing that start finish line, getting his practice in and down. We've got Foxy coming through the penultimate corner here for the final of the ISRL Season 18 Round 8, and victory gold goes to the Chevrolet after an incredible turn of events. Up 7 positions goes to Hat Maris, and congratulations to you, good sir, and congratulations to every other driver. It was an incredible performance, very, very clean race. Neil, hello, good sir. Yeah, that was a good race. Well, I think that brings that to a close, and that also brings the ISRL final race to a close as well. Big shout to the ISRL crew and the TLM racing team, putting on an incredible performance and a very clean performance. Absolute pleasure. Alrighty, well that is gonna be it from me. You're most welcome, Hansa. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. It's great to be involved. And that's gonna bring the final to a close. Thank you to everyone that's watched. Thank you to everyone that's smashed that like button. And we will see you in about 45 minutes for some ACC. Gotta do what you gotta do, Mew. Hope you got the practice you wanted to get down, mate. And yeah, pleasure meeting you all. Pleasure, incredible driving, extremely clean. It was a pleasure to be pleasure to watch such an incredible race. I'm gonna have to save that replay. But yes, thank you to everyone making it what you have. Such an amazing community is the GT Sport community, and I do recommend those that want to get involved or just love the game to get involved with the GT Sport community. Get yourselves known in chat, get yourselves in some discords and whatnot, and start with the fun. Very small community, very friendly, but yeah, thank you again. Big shout out to ISRL, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Ciao ciao.